This is one of the things that's really fun about the past 40 years of collecting microcomputers. You see here the first sentence of this letter: I saw your advertising for early computers in Nuts and Bolts magazine. Well, I advertised in many magazines for many years, still advertised in fact in QST for historical microcomputers. But he answered this ad. This was Dean A. Gross, and said he had an interesting computer. That was in 1990. Well, sometimes it takes a long time and a lot of patience to add a computer to your collection. You'll see in the next letter it took 5 years for me to make additional contact with Dean. Well, almost 5 years later, we did communicate with Dean Gross, and I got this letter from him. He said he was surprised to receive our letter. You know, one of the things I did, and we'll show this in some other videos, we keep a log of all of our calls about people offering us computers, buying computers, and the whole aspect of where the collection came from is pretty well documented in our logbooks. And we went back on some of those and called people after a few years and made contact, and it was sometimes many years before we actually ended up with the computer. And this is a good example of that. But like I said, one of the things that made collecting fun. A few of my hand-scribbled notes here on the letter. Well, after we received the computer, we obviously sent him correspondence, so we enjoyed the computer. And he sent back this little letter stating some of his interest in the computer and what he had done with it. Very active hobbyist. He really didn't use this computer except for his own enjoyment, and he did a lot of things. Actually wrote a disk formatting system, interfaced some floppy disks to the computer, and added a lot of software, and was a very dedicated hobby user of this computer. I'd say it's pretty amazing the amount of work he did. And even when he sent it to me in 1995, he fired it up and made sure it worked. Very dedicated person. I wish I could contact Dean now. I don't know where he is. If anybody knows, let me know. I'd sure appreciate contacting him. Well, Dean was obviously a very precise person. He put together this really nice documentation package and told me all about his computer when he sent it to me in writing, and even actually did electrical tests of the system. So you'll see here as we expand this what he did with the computer.